My name's Vanessa, I'm the Group Director of Nursing for Medicine, and we started this project way back when I was Director of Nursing for Patient Experience, but I've carried it on as the project's developed. So I just want to give you a bit of a background about who we are. We're a very large organisation, as you can see. We have great teaching and research, and joint with University of Warwick, we've got a very flourishing medical school. As you can see, we've got over 5,000 staff, over 1,000 beds, 32 operating theatres over 2 sites. We're an accredited major trauma centre, a cancer centre, and we're also neonatal UNICEF accredited level 3 centre. So getting anything off the ground in such a big organisation involves usually a lot of people and a lot of red tape and a lot of collaborative working. So they're the challenges for us. Can I have the next slide, please? So, University Hospital has been involved in the National Cancer Experience Survey since it began in 2010 and has always used the patient feedback to develop the services. Each year we look at the themes and identify them and discuss at our appropriate forums, and one such theme was privacy. Also, we use our trust-based surveys, patients, relatives and friends and family, asked to view the existing facilities, and this highlighted to us that our patients and relatives and staff felt that there was a lack of private space to conduct sensitive conversations. We looked at, you can imagine spaces, is of premium, and everybody doesn't want to let it go or use it for other purposes. So it was quite difficult, but we did use that initiative to get some space to get the rooms. So it was an ambitious task, and we needed to not only get the rooms, but also have a sort of a cultural shift so that clinicians felt comfortable in holding sensitive communications and sensitive conversations, and also into breaking bad news. We needed to make sure that we changed the way that we communicate, which is often at the bedside, in corridors, or again, sometimes in nursing offices. So the decision was then made that we had a trial, and we were going to convert one room, one office space on a clinical ward area into a room to hold sensitive conversations that required privacy, dignity and respect. The whole project was the executive lead for this was our chief nurse of the trust, who's got a palliative care background, so was very keen for these sensitive conversations to be held. It was also driven by our end of life committee, of which I was a member, and many others, as you'll see, the stakeholders later. The end result was an absolutely beautiful room that was successfully redesigned for an appropriate area for conversations, and I will show you that as we come to it. Can I have the next slide, please? So the key stakeholders that we needed for this project were Group Director of Nursing, that was me, the lead palliative care nurse. We had to get estates involved. Obviously, there's no funding for anything like this, so we had to ensure that our charity and our head of charity was involved. We collaborated with the ward manager of the first ward that we used, and also our arts coordinator. And the arts coordinator was really vital, as I'll talk later, about the importance of colours and artwork in making it a calm and a place conducive to hold conversations. Yeah, so we had a small task and finish group. Literally, we met a few times. We looked also at the colour schemes that were being used at Martin Myton at the time as well, so that we could copy that and incorporate that, so that there was a little bit of a partnership, because we've got a Myton site here with us as well. So we wanted to make sure that the colour schemes went across everywhere. So the charity funded the work, and that enabled the purchase of furniture, including chairs, a coffee table, the decorating of the walls, flooring, and a few finishing touches, and some artwork. The rooms are quite small, so it was really important that we got it right. You have the next slide, please. Thank you. So the artwork arrived with great interest as well. So sustaining the project, though, was one of the things that we had to discuss as well. So the end of life committee secured the funding to maintain the upkeep of the room and any further initiative. However, following the success of just that room, all my computer's going off, that room. The charity and the trust saw the benefits of this, and we're really thankful to the charity. They agreed to fully fund another 8 rooms across the organisation. So that meant that we had 1 room per floor. We've got 5 floors here, and we've got Rugby St Cross as well hospital, to have these conversations. But actually several of our floors now have got 2 rooms, and we're also looking to go into places like ED, radiotherapy, and places like that, so that we can, you know, keep having these conversations as well. So yeah, so that was sorry, I've lost where I'm talking about now. So we were looking at the along with that, we were looking at the improved communication skills as well. So as well as the rooms and having the environment, we understand that there's more to it than just the environment. So we're doing a lot of work around communication skills training to better equip members of the team. So the 2018 survey showed an overall improvement in our patient responses regarding communication. We're hopeful, and we think that these rooms facilitated that and has enabled our clinicians to impart, you know, necessary information in that sensitive manner for the patients and the relatives to hear what's been said. The impact's also been demonstrated by our communications team, and this project has regularly been spoken about in our trust internal newsletter. It's been viewed by staff on our intranet and also by visitors with our We Care magazine, so and newspaper, so that we're telling all our visitors and all our patients about that as well. And there's been great interest in it. As I said, now the room, the use of the lighting and the colours and the materials has provided a room that's appropriate to maintain these conversations. And again, we really want to create calm areas that reduce stress for our patients. It's as much about privacy as it is about sensitivity. So the next slide then, please. So there's our lovely first room that we had on one of our care of the elderly wards. And so the key learning points for us really are to protect the rooms for their intended purpose. It's very easy for these kind of areas to be used for meeting rooms for staff, or for staff to meet to have a cup of coffee, or, you know, do handover. So we've made it very clear that we need to maintain and protect these rooms for the purpose that they've been designated for. And it's been given real importance amongst the organisation that that is what it's for as well. So it's reasonably quiet, the room there, because they're quite small, so we can close the doors. And I don't know if you can see from the artwork, it really changes the way in which the space feels, and the rooms have certainly benefited from the attractiveness of that art. I can't tell you enough about the good work that our art coordinator does here at the organisation. She really understands colours and tones, and about bringing the outside into the inside. The other key learning point for us was to make sure it was sustainable. So obviously we know things will get damaged, they'll need replacing, we'll need to redecorate again. And so the charity and the end of life committee have agreed that that's part of our project plan as well. And that's it, I think. Last slide. Thank you. It's our beautiful artwork again.